This is the Fit Home Gym by Macrofit. And this is the BULLBAR. These are both very popular pull-up bars and we tested both of them. So let's compare them. So today we'll be checking out the Fit Home Gym by Macrofit and the BULLBAR. And both of these are all-in-one solution. So basically they are home gyms because you can also do pull-ups, dips and push-ups on them. And besides that, both of them claim to be transportable solutions. And actually our favorite out of these two is the BULLBAR. And today we'll be finding out why by comparing them on their transportability, the ease of use, the grip, the stability, and also the exercise variety. So let's get into it. So first of all, when it comes to the transportability, we have these two different bags. And actually these bags you have to buy separately. So for the Fit one, it costs $80 and for the BULLBAR, it's $150. So there's definitely a price difference there. And when you look at the Fit one, this one, of course, the base doesn't fit into the bag. So you definitely will have to carry two pieces. And this one is just one piece. So this is actually nicer. But there's also a difference in the kilos because this one weighs 46 kilos and this one is 21 kilos. So the Fit bar definitely weighs a lot more. And with that one, you have a handle and you have a shoulder strap, and also this one has the same. But actually with this one, you can use the handles also of the base and then you can do like some farm walks, but this is 46 kilos, so that is definitely not nothing. Plus you could use the shoulder strap, but that doesn't feel so nice. And when you look at the BULLBAR, these also have the handles and the shoulder straps, but honestly, there's also handles on the side and then you can easily move it because it has wheels. So this is also definitely nicer about the BULLBAR. So let's open these up and see what the bag has inside. So as you can see over here, it is quite organized. It does take some time to put everything in because over here you have the Velcro strap, then you put this through and then you close it off. But when you're finished, it does look very organized and it's more easy to store. Also over here you have a little pocket, which for instance you could put your resistance bands or maybe some gymnastics rings. And then on here you also have two bars, and when you close this off and close the zipper, it is ready to store. So basically this pull-up bar is one piece, so you can just easily take it out of the bag. And other than that, we have two dip bar extension parts in here just laying around, but you also have 6 different pockets, so 3 on each side, and there you could put your resistance bands or your gymnastics rings, for instance, so you can keep everything organized. And also the pull-up bar, you can just keep it together with this clicking system so that it doesn't move when you are transporting it. So this is also definitely very nice. So the Fit Home Gym definitely is not that transportable because it weighs 46 kilos. Plus also you always have to carry around 2 pieces. And actually we would still advise you to get the bag though, because otherwise it just becomes very unorganized because you have a lot of different bars. And when it comes to the BULLBAR, this one by itself is already quite transportable because the pull-up bar is one piece. So you can, for instance, put that into your car with the 2 small dip bar extensions and then you're ready to go. But it is also more easy to transport it because it's only 21 kilos. And if you get the bag, it has 2 wheels on it, so it becomes even more easy to transport. So out of these two, the BULLBAR is definitely the winner here, but the bag comes at a higher price. So when it comes to the assembly, the BULLBAR definitely was the quickest and easiest to set up. So first of all, you take out the feet, which works with a clicking system. And after that, you take out the pull-up bar, which is very nicely designed. And then you tighten it up with this system over here. And then you put in the pins for safety. And also these are super easy to use. You can easily put them in and take them out as well and put them on different heights. And then when it comes to the Fit Home Gym, this one, first you have to put in this bar into the base, and then you use a hand screw to tighten it up. And after that, you also have these pins over here, which just easily click into each other. So you just put together the parts, and it's also relatively easy. And then also this bar over here is super easy. You just put it in, and you can also put it on the other side. Besides that, taking it down actually is also much easier with the BULLBAR, because with this one you have all the different parts and you just kind of have to organize it again in the bag. So also here the BULLBAR definitely wins. So when it comes to the grip, of course you can see that the BULLBAR has foam, and usually we are actually not the biggest fan of foam, because we just prefer the powder coated metal grips. When it comes to the thickness though, this one over here is 38 millimeters thick, but of course since it's foam, if you squeeze it, it might be a little bit less than that. And when it comes to the top bar, this one is 31 millimeters, but actually the layer of foam on the pull-up bar is less thick compared to the push-up bar or the dip bar. And if you look at the thickness of the Fit Home Gym, this one is 38 millimeters, and actually the pull-up bar is the same, and also when it comes to the push-up bar, it's also the same, so 38 millimeters. And actually it kind of makes sense of the BULLBAR that the push exercises are going to be on a thicker bar and the pull exercises are going to be on a thinner bar, and this is not the case with the Fit pull-up bar. And when it comes to the width of the bar, this one, it is 92 centimeters, and as you can see, the outer part over here is slanted, which is quite nice for doing wide pull-ups. And the width of the Fit bar is actually quite longer, it's like 101.5 centimeters, and the width of the dip bar is from 54 up to 62 centimeters. So actually you get to choose the width of which you do dips, but if you compare it to the Fit bar, it's about 51 centimeters wide, so that one is a little bit narrower. And actually for beginners this might be nicer, because over here it's quite wide, so this makes the exercises a little bit harder. So as you can see on the Fit one, you have another bar over here which is 46 centimeters, so this is actually quite narrow, so I think it's mostly there for stability, but maybe we can also use it for certain exercises. And over here the push-up bars are actually the same width as the dip bar, but you can actually turn these outwards, and then you get to do straight bar push-ups at like 85 centimeters width. And also you could do the same on this one, and it's 88 centimeters wide, so this is also quite nice. And these of course you can put on different heights. Alright, so as you can see, it does definitely wobble a little bit, mostly forwards and backwards, but you can definitely do your pull-ups and your chin-ups quite nicely. There's no way though that you can do exercise on the top. Of course now we have the ceiling, but we tested it out outside before. When we did a muscle up, like as soon as you get on the top, it feels very unsafe, and definitely when you're doing straight bar dips, it wobbles a lot. And also a pullover is very scary, so we definitely wouldn't recommend that. Well, actually, this one feels more stable, so that is nice. Also with, yeah, for sure, much more stable. All right, so on this one, of course, you can go a little bit wider on your wide pull-ups. So this is very nice and it feels super stable. So when you do a archer pull-up, you definitely hit these on the side, so that is not so nice. And you also feel that there's quite some wobble to the side going on, so we wouldn't recommend those. So on the BULLBAR, you can just easily take these out, and then you have more space for instance, doing your archer pull-ups. And on this one, it is definitely much easier, and it won't fall over like the Fit Home Gym bar. Some toe touches. That is nice. Also, you could try some windshield wipers, or skin the cat is also possible on this one. So actually the whole time when I'm doing the windshield wipers on this one, you hit the neck on the bar just like with the toe touches. So this is not nice. And since this bar is in the way when you want to do a skin the cat, you can't do it on here, but you could do a skin the cat to get into a back lever on this one. But it is quite narrow actually. And then you can also do your raises. So if you want to train front lever on this bar, then you definitely have to do it on this one and not on this one. And actually, if you do it on this one, this feels very claustrophobic and it's definitely very narrow. And this is for sure possible. I guess you could also do it the other direction. Well, actually, it's quite fine, but again, it does feel very claustrophobic. So it's also possible to do front lever on this high bar, but it's more difficult to get into it. And also this bar is thinner, so actually for doing false grip, it's not as nice, but definitely possible. All right, so this grip for me is quite nice, but actually on this one, you get to decide to go even wider. And then you have this option because it is pointing inwards. And even you have the option to do straight bar wide dips, which is very wide. But actually for beginners, this might already be quite wide. So for beginners, it might be nicer if it's a little bit more narrow. And actually the fit dip bar is a little bit more narrow. But over here, because this bar is here, I would always do my dips this direction. And this is nice. But of course, over here, you don't have the option to make the dips wider. And also because this bar is here, you can't really do any V-sits on this side. So also again, I would recommend to do L-sits or V-sits on this side. All right, nice. So with this, you definitely have quite some grip variety, so this is nice. So let's try some push-ups on the bull bar. So as you can see, of course, now it's very high up. This is basically the same as if I would do push-ups on the dip bar of the Fit home gym. But over here, you can easily change up this height, and then you can do quite deep push-ups. So this is nice. And also you get to do your incline push-ups. But also on this height, you get to do some chair dips to prepare yourself for actual dips. And this option you don't really have on the Fit home gym. So basically with these, you have the option to hang it on different heights, which gives you the option to do your chair dips. But these are also usually more wide than the push-ups you have on the Fit home gym. And that one just has much more grip variety because you can just turn the bars however you want. So besides all of these exercises, you can also make exercise harder or easier with a resistance band, or you can actually do specific exercises with these hooks on the bull bar or on the Fit home gym. So actually there are not many differences between these bars, so we don't think it will change our opinion in any way. And actually also on both of these, you can do some weighted calisthenics with a weight vest, for instance. But one big difference is actually that the bull bar can handle gymnastics rings. And with the home gym, this one is actually not possible because the dip bars are too close together. And also there's an extra bar that is in the way. And this is quite a big deal for us because on the bull bar now, you get to do some ring dips and some ring muscle ups, plus some extra lever-based exercises. So when it comes to the exercise variety on both of these bars, we wouldn't recommend any exercise above the bar, like for instance your straight bar dips or muscle ups or pullovers, because then it just becomes too wobbly. But all of the other exercises, your basic exercise like your dips, your push-ups and your pull-ups and chin-ups, on both of these it's super nice. And actually when it comes to the bull bar, we really like the wide pull-ups with the slanted grip. And also on the home gym, you actually can go a little bit wider, but it has quite a thick grip for pull exercises. And then when it comes to the push-ups, on this one actually you have a lot of grip variety, so this is really nice. But actually on the bull bar you get to easily change up the height when you're doing your dips or your push-ups, and this also gives you the option to do some chair dips, which is very nice. And in general, when it comes to the home gym with this one, a lot of exercises are limiting or quite claustrophobic, because for instance when you want to do your dips or you want to do your V-sits, you have to do it this direction because this bar will be in the way. And this bar actually does give you some options, like for instance your back lever or your front lever, and also this bar you might just hit when you're doing your pull-ups or chin-ups. And on this one, actually, you have a lot of space, and all of those exercises you can easily do on the top bar. And another big thing on the bull bar, you also get to use some gymnastics rings. So this means that you get to do some ring dips and also muscle ups and even some lever-based exercises. So actually, when it comes to the exercise variety, the bull bar definitely wins. So before we conclude, we found out that 94% of our viewers don't actually subscribe. So subscribe so that we can make more and better reviews for you with more and more partners. So when it comes to the pricing, both of these are very similarly priced. They both cost around $400, but since these are very portable options, they also both give you the option to get an extra bag with it. And for the home gym, this actually costs $80, but when it comes to the bull bar, this one is $150, so this is definitely much more. But actually with this one, because it is one piece and easy to take down, you can just take it with you, for instance, in your car, and you can actually go without the bag. But if you get the bag, you can also put the dip bar extension in there, and because it has wheels on it and the whole setup only weighs 21 kilos, this one is definitely very portable. But when it comes to the home gym, this one actually we would definitely advise you to get the bag, because all of these different parts, you can keep them organized within the bag, and then it's more easy to store it away. But actually, if you want to transport it, this one actually weighs 46 kilos, so this is quite a lot to carry around, and you always have to carry the base plus the bag, so you have to carry two pieces. So this one definitely is not that portable. So when it comes to portability, the bull bar definitely wins. And when it comes to the grip, we usually are not the biggest fan of foam, but on this one, the layer of foam is quite thin on the top bar, so it's quite comparable to a normal grip. And when it comes to push exercise, we don't really mind as much. And on the bull bar, actually, it makes a lot of sense that the top bar is thinner than the push-up bar or the dip bar. And actually, when you look at the home gym over here, we really like the grip because it's black powder coated steel, but it doesn't really make any sense that the top bar over here is the same thickness, 38 millimeters, as the dip bar and the push-up bar. So in this case, we think that the bull bar is the winner. And when it comes to the stability, the bull bar definitely wobbles more compared to the home gym. But when it comes to this one, if you want to do exercise to the side, like for instance your archer pull-ups or exercise on the side over here, then actually the base is too narrow, so it might tip over to the side. And in general, the home gym, also everything is close together, so it feels quite claustrophobic. And also because this bar over here, it is quite in the way, and because of that you are limited. And in general, we think that the bull bar has more exercise variety, and definitely if you combine it with some gymnastics rings, so if we would have to put our money on either of these bars, it would definitely be the bull bar. And you can actually get a discount. You simply have to click the links in the description or here, and then we'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.